Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has approved a strategy of total war focused on crippling Russia's strategic infrastructure around Moscow, according to the Telegram channel Resident, which cited sources within the Ukrainian government. The report notes that Ukraine aims to pressure Russia into negotiations. Ukraine believes that the strikes on oil refineries have achieved their goal by dragging the Kremlin into a new phase of escalation. Now it's time to move to the next stage. Andriy Yermak plans to deprive the Russian capital of gas and electricity, which will trigger widespread public dissatisfaction with the war and push the Kremlin toward negotiations, Resident reported. Kyiv has repeatedly announced preparations for attacks on targets deep inside Russian territory. Western media reports indicate that Ukraine is seeking long-range weapons from the United States to carry out these operations, while also developing its own capabilities. Regular strikes by Ukrainian forces on Russian oil refineries have significantly disrupted Moscow's operations. Refinery output has dropped, affecting Russian oil exports. Russian media suggest that the West is likely to provide substantial support to Ukraine in executing its total war strategy. Both the US and European countries believe that only sustained strikes on critical targets deep within Russia can bring Moscow to the negotiating table. Analysts say this marks the beginning of dark days for Russian President Vladimir Putin, as public dissatisfaction with the government continues to grow. Some experts even warn of potential unrest within Russia. In September, Zelensky warned that Ukraine would strike Russia's energy sector if Moscow attempted to plunge Ukraine into darkness again. Russia has repeatedly targeted Ukraine's energy grid, gas infrastructure, and heating systems before winter in an effort to make living conditions unbearable. Last year, prolonged attacks left millions without power and heating during freezing temperatures. Since the war began in February 2022, Russia has intensified its strikes on Ukraine's power grid as winter approaches each year. Ukraine says this is an attempt to weaponize winter by depriving civilians of heat, electricity, and water. Recently, Russia has stepped up attacks not only on Ukraine's energy grid but also on its rail network, a key component of military logistics.